All right, hello everybody out there in YouTube world. I tried to make this video before, but the phone overheated and it cut out, and I had dial-up therapy, meet on the phone, have a phone call with your therapist, with my pastor, who's also, he's a licensed therapist, and so the video that I shot after the phone died, it disappeared. I don't know where it went. And I didn't get to do anything with it because I didn't get to look for it, so I figured I'll just make a new video. So here we go. The purpose of the video was going to be another tool belt tour. This one is, and I'm going to explain this, the other video lasted it was like 25 minutes when I was finally done with it. I'm going to be short here, hopefully. Long and short of it, what I'm trying to get across here is this is the tool belt that I use to make yard furniture, picnic tables, Adirondack chairs. I've got templates for Adirondack chairs and an Adirondack bench. I made money doing that for a little while a few years back, and now that the place that I work for, Building Tool Sheds, where I wear the other belt, the big belt, the owner is 87 years old, and his son, the only other employee, is in his late 50s. They do not build tool sheds unless I'm there building them, and they pretty much just want to deliver them now, which I understand, and that gives me the opportunity to do what my father did. Start my own business with my son as some of my help, and teach him to do what I know how to do. My father taught me how to do landscaping, and I ended up taking a different path, but it's still something I know how to do. And because of the landscaping that he taught me, I know how to use all these tools in here to do small engine repair. Specifically on that, I had to clean the carburetor on that again yesterday, which is a pain in the butt, but it's my own fault because I am using gas that, I put stabilizer in it, but it's a little old. And all I got to do is spray brake clean in the carburetor to keep using this $200 worth of gas that I have in here. And I'm going to do it. But I'm going to complain about it too. Anyway, back to this. This is the tool belt that I use when I am building, like I said, picnic tables, Adirondack chairs, various outdoor things, outdoor projects, stuff of that nature. It's just a regular apron style tool belt with the pockets on either side, the tape measure pocket in the middle. This is the type of tool belt that I learned to do carpentry on. My ex-father-in-law taught me a lot of home remodeling, and this is the kind of tool belt that he wore, and he gave me one to use like this. This isn't it. I don't really know what happened to that one, but this is the tool belt that I'll use for smaller projects. I've hung vinyl siding in this because it's nice to just be able to pull out the nails. I mean, you don't need much. You need a knife, you need a tape measure, a square, hammer, and a bunch of nails. But it's nice for little stuff like that. It's also very nice for doing woodworking. You'll see the air quotes, woodworking. I'm not making cabinets. I'm not making furniture. I'm not making heirloom level stuff. I'm making Adirondack chairs, picnic tables, end tables, fire pit tables, fire pit chairs, things like that. All outdoor stuff, all made out of construction grade 2x4s, 2x6s, 1x4s, that kind of stuff. And I'll do videos on that. So what I'm looking to do is start that up again, start making that money again, doing that. Use that as a jumping off point, and also start building tool sheds for myself. Obviously, building the tool sheds, I'd be wearing the bigger belt, and I would be using the nail guns, which are over there, which you can't see, so I don't even know why I showed them to you. But this tool belt, without further ado, we're 4 minutes into this, I'll just do it. And I know I've said without further ado already in this video, so make fun of me all you want. The regular tool belt, it came with hammer loops on both sides, and they just got in the way. They were a pain. So I drilled out the rivets, and I hung them up, and that's where I keep my welding clamps and different C-clamps and little pouch that I use to keep stuff in. Basically, it just hangs there. And I put stuff in it that I'm going to need. So anyway, this tool belt. I have done finished carpentry in this, like I used to hang baseboard and trim and that kind of stuff. I don't have the patience for it. I hated it. I'm not a fine woodworker. I do what I can, and I'm happy with that. And I'm happy with what God gave me the abilities to do. I'm not looking to do higher level stuff, finished carpentry or cabinet making or any of that. I know what I can do, and I stick to it. And because I do simpler form of woodworking, this is really all I keep in here. I keep a putty knife because I do countersink and drill all of the screw holes that I put the screws in to put the picnic tables and stuff together with. And I will caulk over them because I paint all of them, so they'll be nice and waterproof. And it's always nice to have a putty knife. It's a good pry bar. This one, like the other one, you can see it's metal that goes all the way back. Goes all the way back. And I clean that up the same way on a belt sander. And to get any goo that's stuck on there off, I will use brake clean, and that works very nicely. And I keep that in there. Cut on my fingers getting itchy, sorry. I keep that in there next to one of these old school style razor knives with the screw. And I like these because they're all metal and you can drop it on the ground and it still works. I do like the Insta-Change blades for doing construction, and quite honestly, as much as I like the durability of this, the more I'm going to use it, I'm going to get annoyed with the fact that I got to change the blade by unscrewing it, and I'm going to end up buying an Insta-Change knife for this too. I know myself, I know how that's going to go, and that's how that's going to go. Moving on, I do keep a carpenter's pencil. However, you can see it's more of a blunt marking instrument, and it's good for like the 2x4s, the 2x6s, the 2x8s for picnic tables and Adirondack chairs. I do also do, and maybe I can do a video on that, I do birdhouses. And for some reason, I just like marking with a number 2 pencil for that. It's just nicer. It's a, I don't know, finer mark. In here, there's nothing. In here, there's nothing. If I'm doing birdhouses, I will throw a pair of the bull nippers in there, the end nose pliers. These here, these are actually these are the pair that I keep in the shop. But you can see I slick the grips off them. If I'm doing something where I'm going to be using these finished nailers here, I'll have that so I can pull it out. But by and large, there's nothing in those 2 pouches. If I'm going to use a chisel, I'll throw it in there. But again, it's not fine woodworking. I'm not hand-cutting dovetails and mortise and tenons or any of that. It's glued, it's screwed, and it goes on the front lawn with a sign. So it doesn't need to be micrometer close. So these are usually empty unless I'll throw something in there. I do like to keep biscuits in here if I am using the biscuit joiner, because I will occasionally use that for pallet wood to join up like a panel, and I make birdhouses out of that too. Moving to here, the center pocket there, I keep a 16-foot tape measure, and it's okay. It's not, I really like the Fat Max ones that I showed you in my construction bags. This is okay, but I mean, it's small. Look at that compared to my thumb. That's small. That's, I'm going to be 36 on Saturday, and apparently 34 to 35 is when your vision starts going. At least it is in my case, and that's more difficult for me to read. I can, and I do read it, but it takes me a second to look at it. So this will probably get swapped out when I swap that knife out for a the Fat Max version of this, a 16-foot Fat Max, just because it'll be a little bit lighter and it'll be a little bit easier to see. You don't really need a 25-footer to do picnic tables. Moving over here, we have, that goes hand in hand with the tape measure, we have a speed square, or the Stanley version of the speed square. You can see it has all the functions of the speed square. I could do rafters with this. I could use it as a protractor in the same way. The reason I won't use this or any other square other than the Swanson speed square that I have in my construction bags, the reason I won't use any square but a Swanson square for construction purposes is that it has the marks here, the little tick marks that you can use to take 2 or 3 inches off. I think it's 2 inches. And you can do little, I think, 1/8 inch gradations. If you need to take something, if you need to take an edge off plywood really quick, oh, take 1/8 of an inch off so it'll fit. That's really useful. I don't do a lot of sheet goods. I don't do a lot of plywood doing this kind of stuff, so I don't need that. Granted, when I bought this, I didn't know that I needed that until I bought the Swanson speed square because I thought I needed a Swanson, and I mean, I guess I did. Again, these people, Stanley doesn't know who I am. Swanson doesn't know who I am. People think I sound like Peter Griffin, so maybe Joe Swanson knows who I am. But other than that, these are just things that I mean, I bought this probably at Benny's, the store that doesn't exist anymore. I bought it because I needed a square, and I ended up realizing that I liked the Swanson speed square better. So nobody's paying me to say anything is what I'm saying. I like this. This works for everything that I'm going to be using it for, building picnic tables and other yard furniture. I do keep it upside down in here, which is the reverse of how I keep it in my construction tool belt. Just so that it doesn't hit me when I bend over, because this is worn on the front like an apron. And here we have just a tiny 1/32 finish nail punch, and that stays in there so that I don't have to look for it when I am building the birdhouses. This is what I use to set the nails so that I can cover them over with caulk and then paint them so that everything looks smooth and nice. So that goes in there. And finally, the hammer that I use is the same one that goes in my construction tool belt, the Deluge maybe? I don't know. They don't know who I am, and I can't even pronounce the name of them, so you know they're not paying me. This hammer that I showed you guys before, I really like it. It's really light, and my only complaint is it's too slippery. So I'm going to get some hockey stick tape and put that on there, and my French-Canadian wife will be very pleased with that. So, yeah, that's the tools that I use, and I am going to be using to build, I knew that was going to happen, but that's okay, to build Adirondack chairs, picnic tables, maybe little things like the little well that you can put in your yard, little cutouts like that. Quick, easily buildable things that people will like. I know myself, I am not somebody that can walk into a house and put in $40,000 worth of kitchen cabinets that I handmade in my basement with chisels and planes and things like that. I have those tools, but I don't know how to use them to that level. This is what God allows me to do. This is what God gave me the ability to do. And I'm very grateful for that. I enjoy doing this kind of work. I enjoy making structures like that. I enjoy making the tool sheds. I enjoy making the picnic tables. And God willing, I mean, he gave me the ability to figure out how to do it and to teach myself how to do it. Maybe maybe God will allow it to be successful. So I hope this is useful to you. I hope this has gone somewhere for you. I hope you kind of get a better idea of at least the tools. And I hope it wasn't too preachy. But finally, I hope wherever you are that you're comfortable and that God is with you. Thank you.